everyone. This is the open meeting of the Regional School Committee, the Dover School Committee, and the Sherborn School Committee, which is known as the Joint School Committees, and it is being conducted today, June 8th, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. And this is being conducted via Zoom, which is allowed under Governor Baker's executive order from March 12th, 2020, due to the state of the emergency from the COVID-19 virus. So because of that, we post this link on our regional website, and everyone can have access to this link to join and to watch our meeting. For this meeting, since we are on video conference via Zoom, just be aware that you are being recorded. It's recorded so that we can post it for later. Also note that since you are being recorded, anything you say or do is being captured at the moment. As for the general ground rules for tonight, we only have really one agenda item. So we're calling the meeting to order. And then after that, we're going into the one piece of business we have, and then we will conclude the meeting. So there is no public comment this evening. So I don't have to go over how we handle that. So with that being said, we have quorums for all of our committees. And so we're going to go ahead and start, which our agenda item for tonight is the approval of the interim superintendent contract for Kathleen Smith. And the interim superintendent committee worked on that with Ms. Smith. And with that being said, I'm going to let Kate handle this part so that we can start with the vote. And Kate, I'll conduct the vote, but I just wanted you to present anything that you had and see if anyone had any questions. So.
Thanks, Angie. Sure. So I hope that everyone was able to take a look at the contract that was sent a day or two ago. I received a couple of questions from my committee members, and if you had some questions, I hope you were able to reach out to your school committee reps. So on behalf of the interim negotiation team, we're really excited to bring forward Ms. Smith's contract for your hopeful approval this evening. We've really enjoyed getting to know her these past few months and are looking forward to our hopeful work together. Dawn, do you have that slide perchance to share?
I do. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Thank you. And thank you to Lynn for putting that together.
There you go.
Thank you. So you've all hopefully read the actual contract. These are just some highlights, which are fairly standard. Her term of employment, salary, time off sick leave, bereavement is pretty standard. Ms. Smith is very passionate about her professional development and work with other Massachusetts superintendent conferences. So we allowed for her to spend some time attending those, which will benefit our district. We have to file a critical short waiver, which is standard when you have an interim.
Hey, can you explain, because people, especially new people, may not understand what that is, so.
Oh yeah, thanks, Angie. Sorry, can you guys hear me? I feel it's quiet to me.
It's just Angie that we can't hear that well.
Oh yeah, okay, thanks. Sure, so the critical shortage waiver, and Dawn, please hop in if I don't get this exactly right. When a school district looks for a permanent superintendent and does not end up hiring anyone and needs to have an interim, you need to prove that you looked very long and hard for a superintendent, and you need to explain why none of the folks you interviewed were a good fit. And so we're in the middle of filling out that paperwork, which is not due till November 1st, which will allow us to have an interim. Is that correct, Dawn? I'm sure that.
So I think the key point there is any position in a school where you're hiring a retiree who's currently taking a pension.
Yeah.
That's where they want to make sure that you've exhausted all your avenues before you bring on someone who's already collecting a pension. Then we're going to be giving them another salary. So that's the purpose for the critical shortage. Like, it's shortage out there. We couldn't find anyone who wasn't retired.
Yeah.
And therefore, this is our best avenue moving forward.
Thank you. That was much, much more clear than what I said. Yeah, does anyone have a question about that? Or anybody have questions about any of the other parts of the slide or of what you read in the contract? No, I can't.
This is Dennis. Is there a cap on the reimbursement for the professional conference development stuff? Not on the number of days, I think that's clear, but on the amount?
We did not put a cap on that.
I don't have any perspective of how much those are.
Yeah.
Some of the professional development stuff that I go to is more expensive than,
Well, I will say these were,
it could amount to something.
anybody else on the interim team, please jump in. But all of the conferences that Kathy was most interested in are within Massachusetts. And we do provide for Andrew to go to conferences. It's pretty standard for superintendents. So we didn't put a cap on it. We did discuss that. We felt that that was something that we could work out.
Okay.
We specifically said reasonable expenses, so
Yep.
The intent, and limited it to Massachusetts based. So we figured between those two, we'll use our judgment as to whether she should attend a particular conference or not, and how expensive it is.
Sounds good.
Yeah, good question.
But that's also where we come in as school committee people, and that it's, if we start to feel like, oh goodness, this is not reasonable, then part of our job is to say, hey, that's not reasonable. So we certainly can speak up if, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just saying that, sort of that's the safeguard that's in there.
Andrews was, I think he had a cap of 3,000.
Yeah.
And it wasn't limited to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So just to give a sense of dollar amounts
Yep.
That we looked at with Andrew.
Yep.
And anyone else on the contract team want to jump in and add anything that I might be forgetting?
On this presentation, meeting with administration June 15th, what's the importance of that?
That is one of Kathy's overlap days with Andrew.
Sorry. Okay, I get it. Outside of, so that's of 2021, not 22. I got you.
Yeah, just an editorial comment I added in.
Right. So yeah, Kathleen, she is working out with Andrew and with Cheryl Ingersoll days to overlap with Andrew for the transition.
I have a question.
Colleen, yep.
Yeah, did she ask for any housing? Is she going to be driving in? Do we know if she's commuting that hour each day?
She did not ask. Oh, there you are. I was trying to find you on my screen, Colleen. She did not. She did not end up asking. She has family not too far away, and she lives on the Cape. So that didn't end up entering into this contract.
Thanks.
Sure.
The holidays, I haven't trued that up to our school calendar. Those will generally align with our school calendar.
Yes.
It aligns, I'll say, with our 12-month employee standard contract. Right, because we have summer holidays too that aren't on the school calendar.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm happy to take more questions, but if there are none, what is the procedure here? Do we need to vote by committee to approve this?
Sarah has a question.
Sarah, yes, sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to confirm, I assume that this has been reviewed by counsel for the school committees, and also I didn't know if this differed in any, material respects from the last interim contract that we entered into, just out of curiosity.
It has been reviewed by our school council, yes. And some things are different. There's some things that are fairly standard, a lot of it, but some things are different. For example, the professional development days were really important to Ms. Smith, and we felt that that was something that would benefit us as well. So it's kind of well, it's not exactly our old interims contract, but it's a kind of a combo of that and what we're working off of from Andrews.
The termination provisions are different.
Yes.
The previous interim contract was anyone can terminate at any time, and Kathy wanted more cause language in the contract, so we added that. And it was we took the language from Andrew's contract.
Great. Any other questions? I'm just mindful of the time. I don't mean to be rushing us, but I don't see any other hands raised. So if, Anne, you look like you're about to say something.
But I was just going to say, we have to vote. This is a Union 50.
Oh, yeah.
An RSC vote. So we'll take, the RSC vote is just straight. You can take a Union 50, and then you can take a symbolic Dover and Sherborn committee votes.
And can I make that motion even if I'm not on part of Union 50?
Sure. I mean, not for Union 50. I mean, someone from Union 50 has to make the motion, but you can make it for the region because you are in the region, and the region votes as its own committee.
Okay, so I'll start with the region then. I would like to make a motion to approve the contract for Kathleen Smith for the year of 2021 to 2022 as the interim superintendent for the Dover-Sherborn Public Schools.
Maggie Sharon, so moved.
And Lynn Collins, second.
Great.
Did you hear me say Lynn Collins, second? Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Maggie, do you want to call it or do you want me to call it?
No, you can call it. Before we do that, I just wanted to ask if there was any discussion.
Yes.
And I wanted to say thank you to you and to Lynn and to, I think it's Mark and Angie, for all of the time and the energy that it took to do this work at the end of the year when people are tired. And, it's been a long run. So I really appreciate it. I'm really excited for Ms. Smith to join the team, and I very much appreciate all of your work. Thanks.
You're welcome. And the folks who were on our search team before the contract, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I guess let's take yourself off mute. Maggie Sharon?
Maggie Sharon, yes.
Lynn Collins?
Lynn Collins, yes.
Judy Miller?
Judy Miller, yes.
Who am I not seeing? Leslie?
Wait, no.
Tracy and Anne.
Tracy Mannion.
Yes, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Tracy.
That's okay. I will abstain.
Okay.
And Anne Hovey?
Anne Hovey.
Anne Hovey, yes. Thanks.
Sorry, not in any order in my screen. And Kate Potter, yes. Thank you.
Sherborn next.
Sure.
Okay, so Sherborn, you can take yourselves off mute. So our Union 50 members that are present are myself and Amanda. And so we'll have to make the motion and approve, but I'd like to have everybody vote. So we have the 2 Union 50 and then our 2 committee member votes as well. So with that being said, do I have a motion for the approval of the contract for Kathleen Smith to be the interim superintendent for the school year 2021-2022 for Dover-Sherborn.
Amanda Brown, so moved.
And I will second it because it is just you and I.
Yes, you.
So with that being said, is there any more discussion from Sherborn? Any more questions? Okay, with that being said, I'm going to poll for a vote. Amanda, I'm going to start with you.
Amanda Brown, yes.
Angie Johnson, yes. Dennis
Dennis Quant, yes.
and Nancy.
Nancy's going to abstain because I didn't see the contract.
Okay, all right.
So I don't feel comfortable.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. And Megan's with us, who is our Union 50. Megan, we're voting on the contract, so I don't know if you have reviewed it or if you want to vote or if you want to abstain, but since you've joined on.
Yes, I did review it. I can vote because that's helpful.
Okay, so and what is your vote?
Megan Page, yes.
Okay, thank you. So Sherborn is finished. Thank you.
Can we just for Amy, who'll need to record, so Megan is Union 50?
Yes, Megan is Union 50.
Okay, so the Union 50 are Angie Johnson, Amanda Brown, and Megan Page. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Dover?
All right, so we'll do this in the same manner, I assume, where we'll have all of the Dover School Committee members vote. But we will recognize that the Union 50 members are myself, Leslie Leon, and Mark Healy. All right, so can I have a motion for the Dover School Committee and the Union 50 members therein to approve the contract for interim superintendent Kathleen Smith?
Hey, sorry, Sarah, I just think really, just to keep it really clean, you need to make a motion for Union 50 because that's the one that really matters. And then you can do the other Dover folks. Thanks.
All right. Can I have a motion for the Dover School Committee members on Union 50 to approve the contract for interim superintendent Kathleen Smith?
Leslie Leon, so moved.
Second?
Mark Healy, second.
Any discussion? All right. Leslie?
Leslie Leon, yes.
Mark?
Mark Healy, yes.
And Sarah Gutierrez Dunn, yes. So now, shall we take another motion for Dover or other?
You don't need to take another motion because technically it's a symbolic vote, so you can just keep going.
All right, so Colleen?
Colleen Burt, yes.
Thank you.
Great. I think that's everything. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate, for chairing that committee. And thank you to everybody. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, for all of your help along the way.
So we have to poll to adjourn, or can we just do by unanimous consent?
We can do by hand raise of unanimous consent. Okay. So everyone in favor of adjourning our meeting at 6:53?
Okay.
Very good.